Hi everyone, this is AJ. I am just popping in at the top of this session to let you know that unfortunately, while we were recording this session, we had some audio technical difficulties. One of our microphones gave out in the middle of the table, which would have effectively picked up the voices of the entire party. The only one that recorded effectively was Dylan's microphone, which was angled towards him, and unfortunately it didn't really pick up the rest of the party super well. I did my best trying to make this listenable, but unfortunately there is a good portion of it that is just hard to listen to. This is a very important episode, as it did give a lot of backstory as to what is going on with Yeenoghu's amulet, as well as explaining a little more about what's going on with Lyra. So I decided to post this anyway for anyone who's following along. I tried to make it as listenable as I can. I'm sorry. I hope it is still fairly decent, and hope you enjoy.
Would you like to do the recap, or would you like me? I thought so.
Okay. Tradition.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
Where were we? We saw one of the foremen. It was the one who's alive. We just talked about it. It was
Literally 2 seconds ago.
He's alive. He was big sad. Ethan's dead, and so are the other two foremen. And then Fer was like, he's in the river or something. And he was like, okay, that's chill. And he made him a little snake, and it was really nice. And Quinn was also there, and she said some stuff.
I did not remember that.
And then, Peren's mom, she was also there. Peren was like, you suck, Mom. Wow, Dad's terrible now. You suck. And that was it.
I never checked my notes.
I literally don't know what else happened. Did we fight? Did we fight last time? No. Oh,
This is your entire job.
At a whole thing. Got a cool axe. Torm was there. He was like, hey, what's up? Here's a cool axe. And then there was some rain.
She didn't get her book the Ellisons.
That's why she's just quit remembering.
I don't know. It was a while ago, fam. There was the whole thing with the direwolf, and we went to the place, and we were like, oh, there's some fur here. There's some claw marks. I don't know what's going on. Lyra had a dream, and then Esmenee was like, maybe she's like watching from somebody else's perspective, and everyone was like, nope. And then they said that later, and I was like, hey, what's up? And then we left.
No, you didn't leave yet. You were on your way of leaving.
Still there.
You were on your way of leaving. Quinn touched Lyra on the shoulder. Lyra hit the ground.
Yes.
And that's what happened.
Lyra's unconscious.
So,
Oops.
Because you picked
That's
up
stupid
the
amulet.
Lyra, you fall to the ground, your vision slowly blinking in and out of blackness. You can hear Quinn go, oh shit, as you hit the ground. You reopen your eyes again, and it's raining. Your fur is so wet and matted down, you can barely feel the wind and rain across you, and your pack charge across the field. You get closer, and you can see a man standing at a large stone table in the center of the 7 stones. Several gnolls already flank him as he stands there, quivering in fear. You slowly come to a walk and stand upright. Towering 5 feet over the others, you now fully realize how large you are in this form. The man you know as Jerome looks up at you. The firelight from the torch is illuminating the rain droplets on his face. Do you have it? This deep, guttural voice rattles from your throat. Jerome nods his head, and he pulls out a shattered red amulet from under his cloak and sets it there on the table. He stands there looking at it. I had to destroy the amulet, but the essence is still on this plane. It'll take just a moment to resummon it. He begins to move his hands in a circular motion, and the crackling of thunder stops. You can hear the wind blowing through the tall grass, the pitter-patter of rain against the stone. You see a red, circular rune glowing above the amulet. And for a second, silence. But boom! A huge bolt of lightning strikes the amulet through the rune, blowing everyone but Jerome back. You manage to catch yourself on one of the stones, your claws digging into it, but still managing to scrape your arm in the process. The dust settles, and you regain your composure. You look up, and the amulet is now shining red and hovering in the air. You stumble forwards, reaching out and grab the amulet with your right hand. As you do, tendrils of necrotic energy shoot up your arm, the fur and skin being singed and burned as it crawls all the way up to your elbow. You sigh as the pain subsides, and then take the amulet and put it in the blue pouch on your side.
Alright then.
And you guys just see Lyra hit the ground.
That's gonna be the title of the session.
We've been playing for 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
So basically, we were right to be a jerk to Jeremy.
What are you writing in there?
Amulet?
You don't know what's in there yet.
Okay.
Calista may know, but Lyra doesn't. It might not even be in there. This
Lyra
could be.
might.
This could be
She was unconscious in her favorite.
This could be a different person. But you guys, all you see is Lyra hit the ground and Quinn went, "Oh shit!" And
Were we behind or in front?
you guys were behind. I think Lyra and Quinn were kind of like hanging back. They were the last to look at things. So what would you guys? No, you guys are in the middle of a field. You've got about 40 or 50 feet before you even reach the beach. The holy site itself is about another 40, 50 feet away. You're about halfway between the barge and the holy site itself.
So everyone else is walking. Lyra.
You guys would probably hear Lyra hitting the ground.
I mean, and also
Quinn going, "Oh shit!"
Quinn just immediately turning around, yelling down, "Lyra, Lyra, Lyra!" And then turning around and, everyone!
Hello?
Fer turns around and just looks and blinks for a second. He's, "Well, that's not good." And he turns out, I'm gonna go get help. I'll go get Clara. And he like stumbles off towards the barge itself.
Quinn tries to I don't know how Lyra fell, but Quinn
She just kind of like fell to the side, like
She's still
at
out.
least tries
Princess
to,
Leia style.
Yeah.
Peren's gonna run over and pick her up.
Pick her up. As you do, she's like shaking, like convulsing, almost like a seizure, but it's a little bit more violent, like just jerky.
We don't like that at all.
Something you can see as you're like holding her. You've seen Lyra wild shape a few times here and there, and you can see parts of her are like trying to wild shape and turn. She'll get like an arm as it like twists and cracks, and you'll hear it. To get about halfway to like direwolf shape, and then it'll like crack back into a normal arm, and she's like twisting and convulsing. She's not making any noise. Like it's totally silent. Her body, as it rustles against the grass, doesn't make any noise either.
What are we supposed to do?
I've never seen this happen.
Yeah,
This is
no,
bad. We need to wake her up.
How are we supposed to do that?
The water?
How far away from the water?
You guys are about 50 feet. You're a decent ways away. You can, yeah.
I'm gonna take her to the river.
Okay.
Don't drown me. I'm not gonna dump her in the river. Yeet!
I baptize you in the name of Torm.
Baptizer, that'll help.
You're gonna try and drag her to the beach,
Yeah. I'm gonna
that
try
sort of
to-
area. Okay. You kind of. How are you trying to get her over there? You're dragging her like.
I've got this arm under her armpit.
Mhm.
This one holding. No, he's not carrying her like a princess.
Just
Mhm.
over her shoulder.
No, I mean I was trying to walk her, trespass, but I guess she's out.
She's out. She is a sandbag right now. So you're gonna pick her up shoulder style.
Yeah.
Can you roll a strength check for me, please? How much does Lyra weigh? Not very much. She's pretty slender, right? I am God. I'm allowed to ask whatever I want.
She's tall though. She's tall.
Yeah, she's 6'2".
Oh my god. 27.
A 7. You go to pick her up and lift her kind of onto your shoulder.
She's way taller than me.
At first,
Yeah, she's way taller.
you get her on your shoulder, and then she just becomes a lot heavier. Like all of a sudden, just gains at least 70 pounds, and just rolls off of your
It's violently convulsing.
and is violently not wanting to be on you.
Can I
Who else is the strongest? Does Aramin have any strength?
Not me.
We can double team.
I mean, I think
can
can
roll
one of us help out to
Somebody
try to
like
get her
this.
legs and her arms and just
Yeah. Okay, you guys can do that. Can you guys make either you guys make individual strength checks, or one person does it with advantage?
I'm gonna have you do it with advantage because I have no strength.
I'm straight here.
Oh, just the one again.
9.
21.
21. Yeah, you're able to hoist her up. Quinn is like struggling with her feet. And as you do this, her whole body twists again. And like you can hear the snapping of the ribs and the arms like cracking. Her face is starting to elongate, and she's a direwolf now.
Oh.
Cracked on the ground, but she's still changing. The bones are breaking and elongating even further. The hands go out into large, deep claws. There's like a thick hide beginning to go onto her skin. The fur is very matted down, and the eyes, you can see as she opens it for just a second, are a deep red, flickering with yellow, twisting and crackling, and all of a sudden she is 4 or 5 feet larger than you. She is...
Is she normally, like a direwolf normally that much bigger? Or
She's bigger than a normal direwolf is. Crackling, you can see...
She's like Harry Potter werewolf? She like half human?
Not really. She's more direwolf, just larger. You can see her like back starts to break and hunch over, and the legs begin to grow long, and spindly claws stick out from the side. Lyra, you wake up.
ground now?
Hello?
And...
Hello? Do we drop her?
there are
I'm sure we had no choice.
1, 2, 3, 4 enemies around you. 4 morsels of food holding you. I need everybody to roll initiative, please.
You
I
liar!
don't even know too far.
Roll initiative against me?
I don't like it.
You are technically wild-shaped, and when you get down to 0 hit points, you will return to Lyra. Don't know how that will go after that turn.
Does Lyra get like an attack of opportunity on all of us? Because
No, she's still phasing out of it. You still have your short bow.
oh, we do?
Yes, you still have your short bow.
Yeah, but I can't use it as a direwolf.
Did you read the title of that creature?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
Oh, yes I can.
Yes, you can. So, for essentially now, until I say so, everybody is considered your enemy, and you must fight against them.
I hate it.
So we know who she is, obviously, but she is not.
She sees you as food. Peren doesn't know that. You guys don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know that she's like attacking.
All we know is in the last session she was saying that, she saw this, like, weren't you talking about it? And
25 to 20. Anybody? 25 to 20? No?
Speak with him.
All right. 15 to 20. So 18, 17,
11.
10, 15, 12, 11. What'd you get, Valerie?
7.
Lyra, you get a round of opportunity attack against anybody who you would like.
Who's closest?
Closest to you?
I was carrying your head.
Yeah, so straight ahead of you is Peren.
okay, sorry, Peren.
Oh, no. Don't hurt the boy.
I don't have a shield. God.
Whatever Lyra would do attacking her enemies.
This hurts me.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Alright, just gonna make a bite attack, I think.
Against Peren?
Yeah. There's 2
Does that get advantage?
No, it's just an opportunity. So
So it's just a 5.
5 plus... You have a plus 5, I think, to the attack. Yeah, so 10. Does that hit, Peren? I don't think it does. You are kind of like laying back in your daze, and you're like, oh shit. And like, you go to chomp at him, and Peren's like, fuck! And like, able to drop you and kind of back away. It is now your turn.
Ah!
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna stand up and be all scary.
Okay. Yeah, she stands above, at least 4 or 5 feet above you, towering, looking down. Her back is like cracked. Arms are long and spindly, but very, very strong. You can see the muscles are very well protruded. The fur is all standing on its end. Legs are bent forwards, and she's just hunched.
I am gonna make a bite attack again against the closest person because I don't.
That would probably be Peren as well.
And I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
17.
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
That'll be a 10.
10 points of damage to you, Peren.
Ooh.
Lyra grows, hunches over, and just stares you directly in the eyes. You're kind of like stepping back, no idea this was your friend. But she just reaches down, jaws snap on your shoulder. Not having a good time. Quinn, you see this happen directly in front of you. What was Lyra now just chomps onto Peren's shoulder.
Cool. I'm gonna cast Shatter right on top of Lyra. Constitution saving throw, please.
No.
Alright.
No. Well, what was it?
It was a 1.
Oh no.
That is
Trying not to do a lot of damage.
14 points of thunder
Trying not to swing a battle axe at her.
14 points of thunder damage to Lyra. You can write your hit points and temporary hit points.
Quinn sees this happen to Peren, immediately stumbles upright, points her hand out, and casts it so that it hits.
Okay. Yeah, a crackling shatter. You can kind of see, like, the fabric of reality, like, cracks and shatters in front of you, and then just a big blinding light, blinding wave of sound and light just emanates from this direction. It takes you on the side, Lyra. You're not really expecting it. Still getting used to this kind of large form that you just suddenly appeared in. Bonus action movement?
I'm going to stumble back this way.
Okay. You get an opportunity attack against her. So go and roll an attack.
11.
11 plus 5? 16.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
That's 9. Plus 3.
So 12 points of damage.
Ah.
As you turn and look away, Lyra turns and swipes and like slashes against your back. You can feel like the long claws like digging several, not inches, but a good bit into your skin all the way down your back.
My cloak's already busted up.
Your cloak is destroyed at this point. Aramin, it's your turn.
Can I actually use like an action to like disengage?
Yeah, you can use a disengage action. How far would you like to move back?
Let's move kind of like my back to left.
Like this way?
Yep.
Bonus action, anything? That is it? All right. Esmenee.
I don't want to do a hit. I don't want to do a hit.
Gonna hit you.
Oh gosh.
You guys notice as she stands up, there is a long, like, black on her right arm. There's like black tendrils weeping up where there's no longer
I hate
fur
that.
or hair or anything like that up her arm. Tendrils all the way up to her elbow.
I'm just gonna do a heckin' thorn whip.
Thorn whip? All right, go ahead.
That's a 12.
12 plus your spell attack modifier plus 5, so 17. Does that hit?
Yeah.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
That's a 3.
3 damage to you, Lyra, and you get pulled right up next to Esmenee. Esmenee, not knowing what to do, just instinctively what you've always done. Thorn whip. And pull it closer. And as Lyra like gets up next to you, you can like look all the way up. She's at least 10, 11 feet tall, like all the way. You're like, huh, like, okay. Bonus action movement.
But she's even bigger.
She's enormous.
I'm good. I'm just here now.
Just here now? Okay.
Yeah.
Peren, it's your go. Lyra gets tugged away from you as she launches onto your shoulder, turns, claws at the back of Quinn.
Okay, I want to cast command. You must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. 16.
16. You begin the incantation for command, and Lyra just turns after being pulled from Esmenee. Looking back at you, her teeth are all gnarled and kind of bloody from the impact on your shoulder. Bonus action movement.
I'm not in. I'm gonna back up a little.
Back up. How far? 10 this way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out my crossbows. Can that be my bonus action?
Yeah, that's fine.
Pull it out?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pull it out.
All right. Back to Lyra.
I'm gonna tell her to sit. Worth the joke. Worth the joke. So am I still? I was like thorn whip trap.
You're no longer. No, it's a one cast thing. It's just a grab and pull. Yeah.
It's like a stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and bite Esmenee because it was
Yeah. Just turn and bite. Go ahead and roll to attack.
a 19.
19.
If it doesn't hit, is it still? It's still.
It expended. Yep.
It's a 24.
24. Does that hit?
Yeah, fam.
Yeah. Go ahead and damage.
8, 9, 10, 11.
11 points of damage. Lyra turns. She turns her attention to Peren for just a second, and then refocuses back on you. Chomps down. Once again, kind of like almost on your arms, shoulder area, because that's really the closest thing to her to get.
Am I gonna have a 6 more?
He doesn't have any bonus actions. Would you like to move anywhere?
I would like to move away from the people.
Away from the people? Okay. Yeah, you have 40 feet of movement with that. So 5, 10, 15.
That's fine.
Okay. So you're right there. Esmenee, you get an opportunity attack against her. Well, that's a no.
Okay.
We are stressed.
All right.
Trying our best. Esmenee
Quinn.
really doesn't want to do a hit.
Alright, I'm gonna do guiding bolt at second level.
Second level? All right. I know. We have a lot to do. You guys have no idea.
No, it's a 10.
10. You summon Guiding Bolt, cast it, and it zigzags, and Lyra, you're able to kind of shimmy out of the way to the side with the large amount of space that you occupy. Kind of get out of the way. Bonus action movement?
I'm using 3 sorcery points to pick another second level spell slot.
Okay. It's the first time you've done that.
Sure is.
No movement. All right. Aramin.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and cast my Hunter's Mark.
Okay. You are now Hunter's Mark.
And then I will go ahead and attack my longbow.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the hit.
Oh.
No.
That is going to be a 7.
That does not hit. You summon your Hunter's Mark and draw your arrow. Your hands somehow are still slick from all that blood that was there, and you can't knock the arrow right, and it just totally misfires. Any movement? No. All right. Esmenee.
You know what? I'm gonna move towards her and actually get her with my scimitar.
All right. 10, 15, 20. Yeah, you got it.
Because I don't like that she's biting everybody. I don't like it.
Stop that.
Oh. Does a 15 hit? I think your AC is 14.
Maybe 16.
16. You do hit her, but you kind of angled it wrong, and it scathes off the side. It's called natural armor. Her hide is just so thick that it's hard to slash through.
Give her a little haircut.
Bonus
She's
action?
looking a little shaggy.
You do give her a decent haircut. You swipe across that side, and it does a decent amount. Bonus action? No? Okay.
Love my life.
Peren, it's your go.
I'm gonna shoot her with a crossbow.
Do you have proficiency in crossbows? Yeah?
I have
Alright.
proficiency in all simple weapons and martial.
Oh, wow. Okay, never mind. You've got it all.
And all armor and all shields.
Fucking paladins. Swear to God. What'd you roll?
10.
Plus what? Plus your...
5 plus 5.
Oh, I thought you rolled a 10. Yeah, no. It's your first time using the crossbow. It's like hard to aim. You're like, what the
A little
hell?
heavy.
Yeah, like it's just like not balanced right, and you shoot it directly into the ground in front of you. Like, bonus action movement.
I'm gonna just scoot forward.
Yeah, just sit there.
Yeah.
Okay. Lyra.
Alright, I'm gonna use my short bow.
Short bow. Okay. She has her short bow from being Lyra. You roughly know these people after fighting them for a moment and kind of recuperating yourself. You do know these people, but you know them as enemies. You know that is Quinn and that is Aramin, and you know these people, but you can't register it as anything other than not your friends or trying to actively harm you. Cool. No doubt. Yeah, exactly. No doubt.
And that's the end of the session.
Cool. Right, fucking love that show so much.
So is Peren close enough that I would have registered that like the crossbow bolt hitting the floor instead of at me?
Yeah, you are a roughly intelligent beast. You actually keep your intelligence from Lyra, so you know that was coming towards you.
Okay. Oops. Yeah, so I'm gonna fire at you, I'm sorry.
Go ahead and roll the hit.
21.
I like this dice.
It's always when you turn the characters against each other that they roll well. Go ahead and roll damage. 3 damage. Kind of like readjusting, you can see that Lyra still does have some of her bits on her, and she readies a short bow, not even paying mind to Esmenee running up to her, and just launches an arrow straight at you, Peren. You catch it like right in the center of your breastplate, like it kind of like goes under one of the pieces of scale mail. It hurts, but it doesn't do a ton of damage. It's still not a good time. No bonus actions. Would you like to move anywhere?
I'm okay.
Okay. Quinn.
Quinn grits her teeth seeing this, and we're gonna try to cast Guiding Bolt again.
Okay. Second level or first level?
Yeah, second level.
Second level.
That's a 23.
23.
Yeah, that hits.
Go ahead and roll damage. Is it 46?
5.
5d6? No fucking way! Hang on.
It's right here. We didn't weep.
That's bullshit. I did not know it was
I
40.
this entire section where I did it twice, Dylan.
Oh my god. No.
Oh my gosh, go get her.
16, 17, and 20 points of damage.
20 points of damage to you.
Well, I'm not dead yet.
What are your hit points at?
6.
6? Okay. The guiding bolt like zigzags through the air. And after missing the first one, catches Lyra in the chest and like adjusts, and like the beam of radiant energy kind of like makes you stumble a little bit and think.
Next person gets advantage.
And the next person gets advantage. You blink and your vision is no longer like encroaching on you. Like it was encroaching red. All you could see was just bloodshot. But your vision clears for a second and you're like, these are my friends. And then you close your eyes again and you're back.
Quinn was like, we had a whole moment and everything.
Dude. What the fuck is up, Kyle? Bonus action movement? No? Aramin.
I've done enough.
I am going to go ahead and try and hit her again with my longbow.
Go ahead. Roll attack.
That is going to be a 19.
19. Go ahead and roll damage.
Cool.
Cool. No down.
That is going to be a 5.
5 points of damage. Did you add your dex mod? So 5 plus your dex mod. 7. It catches you, and you drop your forms for like just half a second, so you can switch it out from dire Lyra to regular Lyra. You like shrivel back down and just like your bones like cracking and falling back into shape, and you stumble backwards, just confused as to what is happening. You are back for now.
I hate that. So do I.
That was you. Bonus action movement
I'm going to go ahead and move 30 feet
towards her. You are right next to her.
Okay.
All right. Esmenee.
We're still in combat.
You're still in initiative. You're not necessarily in combat.
Okay,
You just watched her.
Lyra again.
You just watch her like shrink and crack and wither. Something you've never seen before because Lyra has never lost her wild shape before. But it is a weird like shrinking sensation, like rapid.
I'm stressed.
Almost like Animorphs, like in the books where they. Lyra herself, you've taken 1 point of damage.
Okay.
Because that extra 1 carried over.
You
I'm
also.
fine.
Chill.
She's chill. Kind of. I don't know.
It's up
I
to
wait
you.
for Dylan
Whatever
to
you
tell
would
me
like
what
to
to
do.
Like, would you trust her? Would you not trust her?
What would Esmenee
I'm
do?
not gonna hit her.
Esmenee is confused. Yeah, you can hold your action. It just has to be a specific thing that you're holding for.
Can I just like step
My
back
AC
a
was
little
fucking
bit and then not
18,
do
but this asshole
anything?
kept-
Step back a little bit.
Yeah.
That's your turn.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, Peren.
Will detect magic tell me the type of magic that's used?
Let me see the spell specifically. Detect magic generally just tells you if there is magic in the area.
Sure is
Um,
magic.
Okay, I want to cast detect magic to try to see if we can figure out why this is happening.
You cast detect magic, and you're looking around, and you can see the amulet. It's glowing, and trying to see what kind of magic this is. It's very complex. You can see almost like Matrix style, like the letters just kind of spinning, and they settle, and it is the same language that is on the amulet from Jax. And you cannot comprehend it.
I see it in my mind, or
You see it. It's
on
almost
my-
like a vision. You would see it. Like you would see the glowing of the object, and you would kind of just know. It's not like you would see it, but you can kind of like see it in your mind's eye, sort of thing, like in your imagination almost. Like you know that it is a type of magic, and that it is magic, but you do not know this kind of magic, and you've never heard of
But I
it.
can see it's the same red amulet.
You can
I recognize
see,
the amulet?
yeah, you would recognize the amulet. Actually, no, you don't see the amulet. Sorry, yeah, no, you see nothing. Sorry, all you see is the pouch on Lyra. That's it.
Glowing with the words.
You would see the pouch. I think the bag of holding is a transmutation spell. I think so, maybe. But that's what you would see on the bag of holding. But that's it.
Don't like it.
Faint aura. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So that was your action. I'll say you use your bonus action to be like looking actively. Any movement you would like to do?
Yeah, I want to move next to her.
Move next to her.
On the bag side.
5, 10.
Just bolt around her.
Zip.
I just go.
All right. Lyra,
Wait, your dog?
we get to your turn. I would like you to cast heat metal on Peren, please, on his armor.
Okay.
Now that's just.
I don't know about that.
You
Be ordered.
you clear. Your vision is clear, and you can see everybody like, kind of, running up to you, really confused. Like Peren is like looking at you really intently, and then your vision goes back to that like bloodshot look in your eyes. You see Peren kind of almost like reaching for the blue bag on your side, and you just hear in your head just protect. I need you to cast heat metal on Peren, please.
Yeah, I'm going.
There is no hit. She is actively heating the metal that is on your body.
So much metal!
There's a lot.
I gotta look up the damage for it really fast.
It's 2d8 fire damage.
2d8 fire damage. Go ahead and roll it.
Oh no.
4? 7.
7 points of damage. You can like you're running over to Lyra, and she's like looking at you just curiously, as you pass by, and then she reaches out her hand just softly in your direction. You can feel the armor on your body just grow white hot. You can just do what Lyra would do for this part if she was attacking her enemies. For bonus action movement, if she would like to do anything.
They're all enemies still?
They are all enemies. These are people trying to get what you are trying to protect.
Is that one of my wild shapes?
You have no more wild shapes.
Right.
That's alright if you have nothing.
Good, really hard.
Quinn, you see this happen, like Lyra just like gestures towards Peren, looking at him curiously, and the metal begins to glow like a super white hot. You can hear Peren screaming as his skin is just burnt.
Don't hurt the
I'm gonna
boy!
move right here.
Yep.
She's gonna point at them and say, "Stand down!" And she's gonna cast Thunderwave.
Thunderwave towards Peren. So
Yep. It's a Constitution saving throw. Get the
what is the
13.
13? What's the roll?
12.
12 plus con save.
It'd be a 13.
Yeah, you pass. Okay, so they both succeed. Go ahead and roll damage for Thunderwave. And they don't get pushed back if they succeed, right?
Nope. But they do take the damage, and the attention's on me.
Yeah.
Do I have to?
That's 8. So 4 points.
So 4 points of damage to both of you.
I'm not doing too great, guys.
Look, I've got spare the dying now. I'll take care of you if you die.
Can I lay on hands myself?
You would like to lay hands on yourself?
Could I?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's just a willing creature. I think that is the description.
Like a touch,
Yeah, as long as you're a willing creature that you touch. Bonus action movement?
I've ever
The rest of your movement?
That was it.
That was it? Alright. Aramin. Same thing, you see Lyra turn towards Peren as he runs over to her, ignites the armor on his body. Quinn runs over and tries to pacify the situation, but it does not work super well.
He sits there and kind of freaks out a little bit.
Because you are right next to Lyra.
Yes. And he's actually going to move back.
Back. Go ahead and make an opportunity attack. Whatever melee item is in your offhand.
The 4.
4? No. Lyra takes a wild swipe at you, and you're able to back up. So you still have your action and your bonus action. Technically, you are still Hunter's Marked. Technically, she's still Hunter's Marked
Of course.
because it's the same creature.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and ready and knock another arrow, but I'm not gonna do anything.
Okay. Are you holding your action for anything specifically? No. Okay. Esmenee, what would you like to do? Again, seeing all of this just unfold in a second.
Just really stressed right now. Oh no. Cause Peren's right there. These are just all the things I have
Esmenee
written
has so many
down.
fucking spells,
I have
dude.
a lot of spells. I definitely don't have this many prepared, but
No, you only have
I
8 prepared.
I only have 8.
Yeah.
But we doing our best out here. None of these can help me. In this
Yells
situation.
Esmenee. She's just standing there thinking really hard. None of this can help me! You guys can see the black tendrils from her wolf form are now on her arm. It's like a black tendril in her relatively pale skin.
Like it.
And she's kind of tan, isn't she? She's tan, but on her it's dark. It's like black burn marks all the way up. It just looks like ash all the way down her arm.
Where is it at? Elbows?
It's from the hand. It covers the entire right hand and then spirals off just in latches all the way up to the elbow.
I'm gonna go cast Cure Wounds on Peren because he's not doing too good.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for healing.
So that's a 10.
10 hit points.
10?
Get 10 hit points, buddy. I got you.
Okay.
All right. Bonus action, rest of your movement.
I'm Gucci.
Good. All right. Peren.
Secure and protect
You have just basically been set on fire. There is no escaping this. It's no longer white hot, but you can still feel the burns and smoke is coming up from your chest, from the inside of your breastplate, sizzling all the way up.
Actively burning me.
No, it's not actively burning you anymore. It was just an instant thing. For 6 seconds it burned, but you're good now.
Whatever, I'm gonna push through it. I am gonna try to grab that bag.
Grab
Wait,
bag.
Can my bonus action, can I say we need to grab that bag off of her?
Yeah, that can be your bonus action.
Okay, I'm gonna say
And
we
then,
need to grab that bag. And I'll
Can you make an attack roll for me, please? Just a straight attack roll. With your dex mod, please.
Dex.
Yes.
12.
12, what's your AC?
14.
14.
it.
She kind of swipes out of the way. Because it would be like you're trying to reach into her
Yeah.
area. Would you like to move anywhere?
No, I don't want to get hit.
No? Lyra, can you make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
22.
22. You're back.
Yay!
If you remember everything that has happened, but these are no longer your enemies, these are your friends. You've just set Peren on fire. Aramin is standing there holding an arrow, just like looking directly at you. Quinn, just your ears are still ringing from Quinn's thunderwave, and Esmenee's like hands are still on Peren, like with the cure wounds in the middle of casting.
Fuck.
We'll go ahead and drop initiative as well.
Blessed. Can we tell that she's like back, or is she just kind of
I mean,
vibing?
it's probably just like on her face. But,
Yeah.
like,
Sorry?
I don't think Quinn's paying any attention.
Yeah,
to what
Lyra just looks
looks
very horrified.
So what do you guys like to do?
Everything's fine.
Everything is fine.
So,
I think Quinn's getting ready to like fire off another spell and like notices the change in her face and just like drops her hands.
We can tell she's back.
She looks like there is like an evil, like almost like a sort of grin coming up on her face. Like she thoroughly enjoyed like hurting you guys, but it's kind of dropped, and now it's just a look of horror on her face.
I want to rip my breastplate off.
Huh?
It's burning.
I think breastplate takes. Let's see how long it takes to take off, because it takes it takes several minutes. It's no longer to the point where it's burning you, but
Okay.
it's still very hot. You're wearing scale mail,
Yeah, we were on the beach.
medium armor. You weren't on the beach yet.
Beach.
You had like picked her up, and then she had turned. It takes 5 minutes to. Oh no, 1 minute to take off, 5 minutes to put on.
Good lord. Okay.
It's better than heavy armor, which takes 10 minutes to put on.
Jeez Louise.
Okay.
Especially by yourself,
I'm
it's
just
not
gonna
very
kinda
easy.
stand like this.
You're running towards the water?
No. Just kind of like standing like this and just looks. Lyra.
While Lyra's distracted,
Why?
Quinn is gonna bolt forward, grab the bag,
Grab the bag.
and then she's gonna yeet it into the field.
Wait, but how do you know that?
You guys don't even know. She said, get the bag, but you guys don't know the bag is bad.
Yeah, do you want to do this magic?
You know, the bag of holding is magic. It's a magic item.
Well, Peren said,
Stop.
"Give you
Tell me I
back."
saw visions and shit.
I'm sorry, I said the wrong thing. I
Camera can't.
can't. I am God.
There you go too much.
To grab the bag.
Peren said, "Grab the bag."
Peren did say grab the bag.
Then Lyra attacked
Everybody saw me attempt to grab the bag.
Yeah, and then Lyra attacked Peren for trying to grab the bag. So Quinn grabs the bag and she throws it as far as she can.
Okay, you'd have to make an attack roll for me, please.
An attack roll?
It'd technically be an attack roll. Because Lyra isn't willingly giving it to you. Or she's not like, here, buddy.
That's a 17.
17. You see Quinn like reaching towards your bag. Not even.
Nope.
No.
You very easily come off the loop itself is on. Roll a strength check to see how far you throw it.
Oh my god.
That's
Yeet
a
it into the river?
13.
No, off in the field.
You throw it a decent ways away.
Yeet for strength, Kobe for dexterity.
You guys still don't know that this bag is bad.
I'm going off of
I know, but I'm just
No,
saying.
I don't know what's in it. I just know that it was
It-
causing problems.
It was magic.
We were here, we heard the little story.
I know.
Quinn doesn't know that, but Peren said grab the bag. She grabbed the bag, she threw the
You
bag.
should have stopped me from saying grab the bag, but you didn't. So.
Because I wasn't thinking.
But you're God.
Sorry,
so
Valerie.
I am
drop
God.
the ball now.
Yeah.
It's fine.
this is why I don't believe in God.
Kill me. All right, Quinn, you throw the bag out in the field with all of your belongings in it. It had a good amount of your stuff in it, didn't it?
Not my stuff.
Or not your stuff. Had all the Lyra stuff. I was like you watch this happen. Just, what the fuck is going on?
So then she grabs one of her
Concerns.
She grabs her one dagger. She doesn't have another one. And what was that?
I don't have an answer. I don't know.
I don't know if that's good enough, considering.
Has that ever happened before?
Okay.
Because you were like 20 feet tall.
She was like 10 feet tall.
Shut the fuck up.
You were like 50 feet tall.
You're like 1,000.
Literally a giant. Like a holy shit. Bitch.
She goes from pointing directly to like her arm loosens a little bit, but she's still holding it.
I don't know.
What's that on your
Alright.
arm?
Are you referring to the...
Oh yeah.
It's still there.
What's that about?
Does it hurt?
No. It's there. When you move, it's almost like a scab. When you move, you can feel it like tight and pull against your skin. But that's, yeah, it's more uncomfortable than this painful.
And that wasn't there before, right?
Not that you guys saw.
Quinn puts the dagger away.
I'm so sorry.
We need to find that amulet, wherever it went.
You guys don't know anything about the amulet. You have no idea the amulet.
We were looking for.
You were looking for the amulet.
Yeah, we were looking for it.
Yeah. Okay.
We
need
thought
to
we
figure out what
thought we
caused
needed to
that.
find
Yeah,
it
because you did mention the amulet beforehand. Yeah. Okay.
because whatever
Before we
that.
get stuck on the boat.
This is why I make my private sessions private.
So, how do we stop that from happening again?
What is it?
Some kind of possession or something.
Yeah, that's not great.
Why did you say to grab the bag?
Yes, that.
It was magic!
Answer because technically I'm not supposed to.
Well, you saw that it was magic,
Yeah, but
and tried to grab it. I'm sorry. Torm told me
to. He told me not to, but it was too late.
It's not that Torm told you not to. It's just Torm made a mistake. Torm is a fucking dumbass. So just leave Torm alone.
No, he is not.
Well, none of this happened until she got that bag. So I figured
There we go.
best to figure it out.
Thank you for rationalizing my mistake.
Did we know what's in there?
We'll find it eventually, but for now we make sure that that doesn't happen again.
Maybe someone else holds on to it.
Yeah, we'll find it, but you won't.
Not
Not about that, fam.
longbow too.
No.
Can I just like grab your longbow and be like,
It's a short bow.
short bow?
You can let him take your short bow.
No.
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 You like slowly like pull it away, and then Lyra's
I
like,
hold on my bloody arm, and I say I like peek and it's all
yeah,
burnt.
blood is
I say,
still kind of like pouring down.
A short bow, please.
You still have the arrow like sticking out of your chest.
Okay, did you take the arrow out?
No, the
Yeah, it was
arrow's
still,
there.
and you're
I
just,
pull it out and I say, "Give me."
it's very painful to pull out. It's like
We have.
Stronger than
He's
Quinn
super
when Lyra
dignified.
shot her.
very painful. Yeah, I remember
This is
that.
a bad track record he's got going. We don't need you to have any prior.
Lyra just kind of.
Like you pull it back for a second, and
Alright.
I just like put it on my shoulder.
okay, you no longer have a short bow. You now have a short
Very
bow.
unarmed.
I'm not gonna write it
You
down.
have
You don't even have wild shape.
nothing. You have a little bit of spells, but that's it.
That's good. So now we can trust her because I don't have to worry about.
Everyone here wants to trust you.
I trust her. I don't trust whatever the heck that was.
Because I know that wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
But I
That
can't say that it's not gonna happen again.
Who's to say it's not going to happen to any of us? I mean, well,
I guess. What am I gonna turn to a big rat? Like what?
On the next episode.
I mean, there is a giant rat.
Exactly.
There is a giant rat.
Yeah, I guess that is a thing that could happen, but like,
I mean, we don't know what kind of magic is
No.
targeting. All of us here have magic.
yeah.
Could it be the amulet that she picked up a while ago?
The amulet's gone. We know that Jerome had it, but.
Wait, did she remember that vision she had?
Why do you think we were looking for the amulet in the first place?
No, the most recent one.
Oh, the new vision.
You remember that one?
where
But
Jerome gives us the amulet and it's healed and fixed.
What were you saying?
Oh yeah, that one.
could there be leftover magic from the amulet still inside of her?
You know that time that she was in the hole or whatever?
Remember we came here looking for the amulet?
Yeah, we did that.
I had before that was that thing. I had another vision.
And
It's not in pieces. You don't have it? And he said something, some spell, and it was like it was brand new again.
The Bajok amulet was
well, that's
brand
not
new again.
comforting. And where was he?
Where is it?
You put it in your bag.
Do I remember that? I don't know where he went. But I took the amulet, I had it in my bag. My bag. Where'd you throw it?
How long does detect magic go? It's like a minute, right?
Oh, 10 minutes.
Fucking
Up to-
shit.
Up to 10 minutes.
Up to 10 minutes. Would Peren still be holding detect magic?
Yeah, I don't think you did anything else.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it. It's a ways away.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
It's about 16 feet away.
I can see it. It's like 16 feet away.
Exactly, 16 feet away. It's weird. It's like distance chart on here.
Quinn's like, I gotta try out for the shot put.
Alright, I walk over and I pick it up. I'm like holding it like this.
Peren just turned
This bag?
Pick it up. It's a very small bag. It's like literally like a coin purse sized bag. It just opens really, really widely. You pick up your
You
bag.
put Bajok's amulet.
So that's bad, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
So should we get it out?
Don't look at me.
What are we
Well,
gonna do with it? To do with it?
Do we have to like actually destroy it?
the last time we had this amulet, none of us touch it, so we had to keep it in the bag.
Okay.
But you don't get the bag.
You guys don't even know if it's in the
Doesn't matter
bag.
because we've already touched it. We're not gonna look. We're not gonna go rummaging around. Oh, here it is.
From your memory, as long as you are wearing gloves, not physically touching it skin to skin, you can touch the
Well,
object.
the only one who has gloves is
We-
Fer.
Well, Peren has gloves.
Peren has gloves.
I can definitely remember that. That's
Yeah, that is something that you remember. Fer grabbed it hands on with his
Okay.
gloves on, and it was
I'll look
fine.
for it in the bag.
You can look for it. You open the bag up. You can just hand it over to him. You open the bag up and you rummage through. Can you go in the first pocket of the yellow for me, please?
The yellow thing.
The yellow thing. Go in the.
Oh, I was like,
And it.
oh damn.
The amulet
Escape route.
sinks up into your hand,
I hate
clue.
it.
holding the large red gem that's in the center with the gold and
And it's back
emblazoned around.
intact.
It is completely intact.
Oh god.
What happened?
You know,
Red.
You know.
Well, we destroyed it once, and now it's back. So what are we supposed to do now? We can't destroy it. Rome isn't here.
Drone?
Clearly, destroying it doesn't do anything. We can't let you have it.
It's not like I asked for this.
No, of course not. But our hands are kind of tied now, aren't they?
Well, if she doesn't have it, maybe it won't happen.
Aramin remembers hearing a whisper on the wind that's at home, and then has the bright idea of saying, what if we take it to the sorcerer of my master?
Oops.
Who? What?
Will he know what to do?
The person that I grew up with is a sorcerer. He might know what to do.
Just about now, you can see Fer is returning, kind of slumped, walking forwards, and Endorin and Kara follow behind him. And he's like looking at the ground where all the grass is like flat and there's blood and like scorch marks on the ground from the fire. And he's like looking around.
Welcome to the fight, bitch.
Hey.
Kara, not even phased, just walking directly towards, and Endorin's like carefully taking steps and looking around, like watching where he's stepping. And he sees like the blood, and he makes a very clear arc around the blood.
Just like holding the amulet. Like, here you go.
What's up?
Amulet's back.
Got an Infinity Stone.
All right. Da, 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 all right.
That was a good joke.
That's the second time in the same game. Doesn't go.
One of the titles of our episodes, the 6th one, was Bajok back already.
No, it's not.
It is. It literally is. We have it written down right here. Bajok's back alright.
Bajok's back all right too. Electric Boogaloo.
Made that joke so long ago.
Oh my god, now
And
I'm
it
mad.
still works today.
He wasn't even back.
In that episode, he was. That was the one.
He's really back.
Well, that was the one that.
Bajok's really back, all right.
Bajok's back too. Electric Boogaloo.
That's the name of this one.
Two back-to-back Tokyo Drift.
Me and Maria are on a wave.
Literally going to die. Just gonna fucking die in this game.
Don't kill me before my minion gets here.
Don't kill me before my minion gets here. Said every D&D player ever.
The day before it arrives.
Anyways, they're approaching. They're about 10, 20 feet away from you right now. But you can see them walking up.
Army,
I wanna-
where do we need to go?
hide it?
Where would
I hide the amulet.
Absinthe. It's the name of your
We don't
hometown.
want to
Yes,
hide it.
that place. That place.
Shove the amulet in the bag. I put it in the bag. I hide it.
Just disappears. Everybody saw it. You were like, shit. You can make a sleight of hand check if you like. Go ahead.
I want my mom to see it.
Oh, you don't want the 3 approaching to see
Yeah.
it? Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check. They're still far away, so it'd be an advantage.
Whoa.
You have advantage.
18.
18. You do it decent enough. You're looking at it, and you're like,
I always thought I
guys,
was holding something.
look at this. And everyone's like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about whether to hide or not. And then the last one
You're
was
like, hey, Fur, it's your best friend.
oh. Check it out!
Yikes.
With my one.
Yeah.
I'll show Fur later, but.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you guys like to do?
Larry's
Should we tell
gonna
him?
go with whatever he says.
Yeah.
Because at this
Just
point,
like-
he's the only one that's got a solution.
I don't have
that
any
might fix it.
ideas.
Let's not tell them what happened. I feel like.
Immediately as you say that, Kara's like,
Oh,
what
no.
the hell?
Fucking mom.
What is going on?
You're bleeding. She's bleeding. You're bleeding. You're bleeding.
Deflect the question.
Yeah. Am I gonna have a 6
Who's
star
Adronis?
Mom, I have questions.
She's just like, what? What?
Let's go back to the boat.
And Fur is like equally confused. He's just standing there. He's like, has his hammer like.
I tripped. Let's go back on the boat.
You
We all
tripped.
tripped.
You.
I tripped, I turned into a dragon, I spat fire, and I'm okay again.
You missed it.
You missed it, it was great.
Why are you steaming? And she like touches
I set him on
your
fire.
armor.
I
Wait.
set him on fire.
What the-
No, he's just so hot.
It's because I'm gonna have 20
He's
on.
down 20 hotness. He just radiates
She
off.
just shakes her head and
like,
turn like immediately just 180 walks back towards the and she kind of gives a glare to Fur like this is what you brought me over here for and then
Armin's
continues
like, she's hot. Get it?
Hey.
I just go, hey.
And Kara's like, that's my son.
that's my son. She's totally disappointed. Endorin is also confused like you fell?
It's fine.
It's fine.
Okay.
Next bear.
We just need to get going.
We need to go to.
We gotta go
where's
to
your home?
the place.
We need to go to Epsom.
Yes.
Well, we have to make stop in Bakri first.
Is it on the way?
Yes.
Bye.
Absence just farther down the Isling Muta. Okay. I'm gonna go back to the boat.
We'll be behind you.
And just trudges back. He looked like him and Endorin were having a conversation before you guys walked up. Because he's like he looks at you, Lyra, like and just turns back and walks with Endorin, like very confused.
Well, we should follow them. Lyra, are you okay?
It's okay as it can
We'll figure this out.
be. I certainly hope so.
Do you feel okay to get back to the boat?
Yeah.
Do we have everything before we make it to the boat?
You do like the pat for your keys. You got your keys, got your phone, got your phone.
Gaping wound.
Another hole in your armor.
You want
Yeah.
your arrow back?
Can you fix the hole?
Extra
You
max.
have to go.
I watched those highlights earlier.
Yeah, but I need to get arrows.
Yeah, you guys have everything. You make your way back to the barge. The anchor is kind of like almost pulled out of the sand. It looks like the current has like started to pick up a little bit harder, but the ramp's still down. You guys make your way up. Mark is at the helm, kind of just watching the ship, making sure everything's okay. His beard is kind of like blowing in the wind.
Amazing.
Majestic.
You guys load back up on the ship. Endorin, as you guys, he brings up the rear, grabs the 2 large handles that are on this like sliding ramp, pulls it back up, brings it against the side, yanks the chain out of the sand, just kind of gives it a good tug. Fur kind of helps him as he brings it along and cranks the chain and it clink up next to the boat, and you guys slowly start to push off from the shore, and you're making your way back down the Isling Muta. You can see the holy site kind of disappearing away. Lyra's still on the beach.
Oh no.
Beach.
No,
Like we're just on the beach with the bag in one hand.
Oh no.
I'll take care of that. All right.
So I want to.
Lyra's just gonna kind of curl up in a ball and be sad.
That's fair.
And afraid.
Roll for cry.
Oh, for crying!
No. Oh, that's an 18.
18?
Oh, she could cry.
It's a big cry.
It's a good cry. It makes you feel better. It's like a refreshing cry. Otherwise, it'd be like that cry where you cry and you just feel
You
worse.
feel like, yeah.
You feel like shit. You're like really stuffy still. You're like,
She shot somebody and then she bit some people, so you know.
The one
she's
where you
really
wake up and
great.
your eyes are like crusty.
really crusty and puffy.
Got
Yeah.
some skill in crying. I want to pull out
Proficient in it.
the. I'm still wearing the amulet. So
Yeah.
I want to take it off. I want to pull out the map, the orb
The
map
orb,
that
yeah.
Emily gave us, and
The
I want
orb.
to try to see how to make it work because
Okay.
I want to at least have an idea as to where we need to go for that
Yeah.
piece.
You pull the map out, and it's almost a full orb. It's a full orb, and then it flattens out at the top. There's a concave bit. Make an investigation check for me. With advantage, because you're decently smart.
That's 2
What a
18s.
compliment.
18, yeah.
I'm decently
It
smart.
it is but you notice that the amulet you're wearing, it's like a half moon, half of it fits into this circle. It looks like there's another half, and
Yeah, we know
there's a spot for the gem that they talked about. It's like it's like in, and then there's a deeper bit to where the gem would sit inside.
Cool. Can I like hold it in one hand and try to slot the amulet in on one side?
It rests in on top. Nothing happens. Just sits in the top. You can hear it, like it almost locks into place. You turn it, and you're like, and it's there. It's in the spot, but it's not doing anything.
All right. She puts it away.
Okay. Do you keep the
She
amulet
takes
piece?
the amulet. She keeps it on.
Okay.
She has it tucked under her shirt normally, so it's not out in the open.
Yeah.
It's like tucked in.
Okay.
And then she just watches the river. She's standing kind of on the side of the ship where she can see Lyra,
Mhm.
but standing far enough away that she's letting her have her privacy, but she just kind of keeps her in
Yeah. I imagine is like,
range of vision.
so the ramp is, if you're looking like straight down the boat, is on the left side of the boat. I imagine Lyra's all the way on the right side of the boat, kind of like in the corner by the raised bit in the railing, and you're just kind of down by the helm at the very front.
So I
That's
can
not the
kinda-
helm.
So I can kind of look to the right and see her back there.
Yeah. Okay.
Lyra's having a big sad.
Crying, big sad.
I want to talk to my mom.
Talk to mom.
Okay.
Okay. Kara, kind of staring. You can see she doesn't have her battle axes on her anymore. You don't know where they are, but she doesn't have her battle axes on her anymore, and it looks like she's taken off a lot of the heavier bits of her armor, like the shoulder pauldrons and things like that. She's kind of gone down in the common wear. Under the shoulder pauldrons, you can still see her exposed, like scarred and burnt arm, but she does have like a very like flowy, not like dress, but like a pantsuit almost, kind of on like a jumpsuit. It's short. It's like a light blue.
Can I take off like my breastplate, the one that you brought
Yeah, like when you're on the ship, you can easily
Yeah,
just
um,
click and take it off. You can just set it off to the side.
Yeah.
What is Peren wearing under his breastplate? Just like standard stuff?
Brown tunic.
Yeah, just like a regular tunic.
Okay, like my skin.
Yeah, your skin is burnt. It's very well burnt. It's like a bright red. You can feel it. Some bits of the skin is like almost blistering, like the skin is loose. It definitely hurt, and you can still feel it. It's almost like a really, really bad sunburn.
Alright, I want to go up to her. I want to say, I know you left for this amulet, and it made me angry that I thought you left for such a material reason, and I was angry at you, but it's not about just you anymore. This is about all of us now. Who's Adron? And why did he call to you?
She's kind of like arms on the railing on the outside. She's like on the left side of the ship. Just kind of looking out. I don't know. I don't even know if it was him calling me. Adronis was an old god from long ago. Something with the seasons.
What have you learned on
Nothing.
your 10-year journey to find?
I know the amulet I'm looking for is down in Eshor, but that's all I know. I don't know where it is, really, specifically.
You don't know what it does?
No.
why it called to?
Right.
Because it's not the only amulet. What's the god of the amulet?
Yeenoghu.
Okay. I know that, right?
Make either a history or arcana check. Either one.
17.
17. You know who Yeenoghu is. There's a demon lord, one of the Abyss. There's the lord of the Knolls. He primarily tells his followers to worship him by consuming everything. Flesh of humanoids is a preferred of his followers. Generally, it is just Knolls. It's very rare to find other humanoids following him.
And Adronis was also a demon lord, right?
Adronis was a god. There's a difference. There's a very big difference, yeah.
Okay. It's just the demon god.
Yes.
God of the demons.
He's the god of the demons.
Jeez, okay. We love.
Well, he's not only the god of the demons, he's the god of the demon lords.
Interesting.
Oh no, so he's like
The god of the demons.
oh god. Okay.
We're fucked.
Bajok, we killed him a while back, but he had an amulet of Yeenoghu, and it possessed great strength, godlike strength. And if that amulet is still out there, knowing how powerful it is, we need to find them and stop them from getting into the wrong hands.
She crosses her arms and kind of hunches a little bit farther over this railing. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. I don't know. All I can hope is that when I do find this, or if I do, the nightmares will go away and I can return to my normal life. I don't know if it will be normal anymore. You're not there, and your father's probably a very different man.
Out over to the water, and he says, I no longer serve Tyr. After I left home, I got into some trouble, and Torm saved me. And I've devoted my life to him. He's a fair god. Not kind, but not cruel.
You know, it's interesting that you would choose Torm. Torm always refers to Tyr as his father. I think it's interesting that you found him as such.
He found me, and every day I live to thank him for that. And Torm is a god of war.
Yes.
But war is not always bad. There are good and bad wars. And the ultimate war is between good and bad. And right now, he needs people to fight the good war. And I know you left a while ago, and I don't know if you still serve Tyr. But
So.
Torm needs you now. And I won't push you into it, but I want you to think about the ultimate, the end of all of this, and realize that we need good gods now.
I understand your thinking for that, but Tyr isn't necessarily a bad god. He's a god of justice. And justice is a hard thing in today's world. Good and evil don't exist by themselves. It is a line of gray that you must walk when you're trying to balance the scales, as Tyr would say. It is difficult to know what is good and what is bad from one's perspective. It is the perspective of the masses that demands what is good or what is evil. And the perspective of the masses says that the Fist needs justice. They should be brought to it. And unfortunately, that does mean war on some degree. They have invaded our political system. They have invaded magic in general, magic users, magic camps. They've done so much to destroy what is right and just in this world. And that is what I follow. I appreciate you trying to convert me, but that is what I believe. And you are free to believe whatever you like. Your father would not be very happy with you. Just like to let you know.
He laughs. He's like, no, he would not.
No.
I'd like to see the look on his face.
I know you all want to go to Absin. I think your friend said to Endorin over there. I have a interesting individual that I met on my journey. And she kind of smiles to herself and kind of looks off. Someone I met down by the forest of Oshana. He was running. I don't know from what. An elven gentleman named Roland. I think you'd like him. He's someone that believes your views politically. You know, he's a very behind the lines sort of guy, but he does believe doing what's right, and something I admire from him, and something I think you would as well. So maybe instead of just rushing off to Absin, I know you want to get this amulet destroyed, but you could come with us north of Valerie. You could go to our encampment, and you don't even have to stay, but we have a few things here and there, and maybe you could take part in, and your friends could use a good night rest, and we could definitely do that in Valerie. I'm close friends with the innkeeper there. Could probably get a discount.
I think that would be best. I think a break before we continue is what we need.
I understand. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me, child?
If it comes to it, will you help us?
It depends. You are my son, and that does sway my decision a little bit, but I need to put my needs and the needs of the people who I am fighting for first. Not even necessarily my needs, just their needs. And if there is somewhere else that I must go, then that is what I'll do. I'm not usually out in the fields. I came out here to save your ass. You're welcome.
I hate you already.
I know. You're welcome again.
He makes a joke. I think he goes to turn around and he hesitates. He turns back and he doesn't look at her. He says really fast and he goes, "How'd you get those burns?"
Story for another time. I must say my prayers. She just walks off.
Wow, okay.
Walks off to the bow of the ship, all the way in the front. And she sits with her back facing the water, so she's looking back towards the rest of the ship. So she sits cross-legged, closes her eyes, and puts her hands so it's one like this, and then one on top of the other, and sits open-palmed towards the sky. And she's praying to Tyr right now. It's a pretty common practice. You can hear her mumbling things, but not doing much else.
All right, I want to go back and say I asked my mother about the amulet, the Adranus amulet, and she knows nothing of it. But
The one that she was looking for?
yeah, but knowing that Bajok's amulet is returned and the power that it possesses, we need to find all of them.
Do you think that they're all connected somehow?
I think it's too much of I don't think that can be a coincidence. I think it's too big for that. They must
that or we're just unlucky.
It's definitely possible.
D&D group has shit luck. What a concept.
Crazy.
Is Lyra still crying?
I'm just
I
not.
might be asleep at this point. I don't know.
Is she asleep?
I was tired.
Just exhausted, emotionally and physically.
Quinn looks, I feel like it's been every couple of minutes Quinn's looking over to make sure she's still there.
Is she
The one
going?
we're looking for is green, right?
The stone is in green stone, yeah.
And the Adranus one is blue.
And this one's red.
And the back.
The one Kara's looking for is blue, yeah.
Okay. So what are the other colors?
So the name of the entire campaign is called Amulets.
Amulets.
Honestly,
Amulets the musical.
Amulets the musical.
We need to get a yellow one next.
Is Lyra going to sleep?
Complete the character.
Lyra's not So
I don't like the way he's asking that. She's not
I
asleep.
know. That's what I did. She's done crying, but she's definitely like worn the fuck out. Like she's
Yeah.
just kind of sitting there with like her head in her hands.
Just exhausted.
Going like, what have I done?
Sleep.
Quinn's-
Don't fall asleep.
I'm not falling asleep.
No, it's from the Yoda.
Without even looking at anyone, she just says, "Excuse me," and she walks.
Gesundheit.
She walks over to Lyra and just sits next to her and doesn't say anything.
Lyra takes her head out of her hands and like her face is visibly like there's tear marks and it's red and puffy and swollen and she's been crying very, very long and she just kind of like leans over.
And then she passes out.
And then she turns into a giant dog monster again.
The amulet out and she just kind of rests it on her chest and puts a hand over it and looks out at the ship and just thinks for a second and says, I've spent at least the last few years, if not the majority of my life, not being able to trust anybody. And I feel like that hasn't changed in a lot of ways. I feel like my trust is broken so often. I trusted the city I grew up in and then it killed my parents. I trusted the guards to protect us and they turned their backs on us before I even knew magic, before I knew anything. And I trusted that we would be cared for and I was wrong. I trusted my family would always be there and they weren't. I joined the disciples so I could have some measure of control, but even then I'm just another face in the crowd and everyone has their own reasons. I've never really been able to trust anybody before, and it's taken a lot for me to stick around here. I'm so used to moving on. But something is telling me that I can trust you, and I'm sorry.
You shouldn't trust me. I don't trust me. I don't know what happened, but I hurt everyone.
Sometimes we hurt people, and
Not like this. I remember it. I wanted it.
but it wasn't you. It wasn't you in there.
I don't know what it was.
Well, that amulet's back, so I guess now we have at least that answer. This was just a mistake, all of it. But I feel like the me from months ago, wandering outside of Esmenee, not knowing where to go, traveling to Petrana, I feel like that Quinn wouldn't have forgiven you. I feel like he would have already been gone. But I don't know. I know it wasn't your fault. I don't think that you should blame yourself.
Who else am I gonna blame? I'm the one that did it. It was my hands, my paws, my teeth, my arrow.
I know. But there's nothing we can do now about it, so just have to move forward. Hope that tomorrow's better. Hope that this doesn't happen again. If it does, at least we know that it's not your fault. And I'll stand up for you. I'll bring you back. If I have to kick your ass, I'll do it, but I think we need to stick together if we want to see this through. And you said it yourself, you're basically the only sister I have. I don't know if that's a lot to say right off the bat, but I don't know, maybe it's Lucy telling me to stay. I don't know.
Maybe one last elven piece of advice before she fades into nothingness.
On her high horse,
Always.
thinking she knows best because she's immortal. She acted like that when she was alive too, when she was human. She was the brains, she always thought she knew best. It just feels unfair, all of this. The world, the way people treat us, the fact that this keeps happening to people who don't deserve it.
Picked up an amulet.
You had no way of knowing that any of this would happen.
I shouldn't have touched it.
When the DM asks you, do you touch it? Don't touch it. I mean, granted, you picked up that amulet.
It was in like session 1 or 2.
It's like, oh.
It was 74 of Auburn Reach. It is currently 88 of Auburn Reach. So it was about 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
In game 2 weeks ago.
Oh shit. It's only been 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot has happened to you guys in 2 weeks. So much has happened to you guys in 2 weeks.
How many times have we slept 2 weeks?
Not enough.
You guys don't sleep very much, do you?
Don't.
Bad things happen at night.
We do.
It's a Hydra.
Brothers get eaten.
The Hydra, yeah. Brothers get eaten, is that what you said?
Does Lyra still have her head on Quinn's shoulder?
Yeah.
Can you... Yeah, never mind.
Okay, good. Thank you. We're having a moment.
Quick roll.
Quinn tucks the amulet away again. And she lets her head fall onto Lyra's.
We should really specify which amulets we're talking about. I know which one we're talking about, but like...
The red one's the other one.
Yeah, you're right. Ram was at the back of the line.
Mine, the one that belongs to me.
Well, technically.
The one that belongs to me now.
Dead brother, dead sister, yours.
She puts her head kind of just gently on top of Lyra's and says, "What's really unfair is the fact that my hair is gone."
Looks nice though.
Yeah, there's no blood in it.
You haven't washed it yet. There's still blood in it.
There was rain.
Oh, yeah, I guess there was rain,
That's
yeah.
why I said that she takes her head down, she scrubs it out.
I remember that, yeah,
Blood
yeah.
out of her-
Aramin's blood out of her hair, yeah. Fucking Aramin bleeding everywhere. Asshole. Is there anything else you guys would like to do on this barge? Any conversations you would like to have?
I have a
Is
question.
Peren still
He's
burnt and hurt?
And bleeding
yeah, he's
from
not
an
hurt.
arrow wound that there's no arrow in now.
Yeah, you're just like actively gushing blood. The tunic on you does have like a decent amount of blood stains. Just from where the arrow hit in your shoulder is kind of, there's holes in it, Kylo Ren style. That's really it.
I have a question.
What's up?
Like a minute. Mark and I forgot the guy's name.
Ethan.
With an
Ethan.
E. Those are the only 2 other people on the ship, correct?
Well, Ethan's not there. I thought you were talking about the
No, I'm
foreman.
talking about the guy on the ship.
Endorin.
Yeah.
It's spelled incorrectly because I can't read things phonetically because I'm an idiot. I can spell it for you really fast.
It's like Eherdhin.
Endorin is how it is spelt, but I say it Endorin because I can say whatever the fuck I want.
That's like the person naming their child Erica, but they spelled it AIRWERKA.
Erica. EHERTHIN. Endorin.
As definitely Eherdhin.
How do you get Endorin?
Spelled Eherdhin.
The DM will remember this.
You spelled
You made
it.
fun of me last time for it. Okay.
I know. I have a list of every name that you guys, they're blacklisted. Every name you guys have ever made fun of, they're blacklisted.
It's not
Every name.
phonetically, it doesn't make any sense. There's no N before the D.
In what language would it be pronounced like that?
In the language, spelled Eherdhin, but he pronounces it Endorin.
He's a Goliath, guys. He's not very smart.
He made his own name. Sounds cooler.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You know nothing about Goliath culture.
I don't know.
None of you guys are Goliath.
I'm never gonna spell it that highlight.
I don't
Never read
care.
that when I come back as a Goliath. Okay, so what are their...
You know nothing about either of them.
I don't know anything about either of them.
You know Mark was a foreman,
I want to change it.
and he was Ethan's wife. Husband.
And he lived in
Oshana.
Oshana.
Yes.
Okay.
Endorin was the blacksmith. That made your weapon.
Oh, shit. Okay. I thought they were both... Okay. They were both lived in Oshana.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk to Endorin first.
He's at the helm of the ship. He's steering.
I'm going to say, hey, how did you get involved with the rebellion?
Well, a lifetime ago, when I lived with my family, what was my family? I did a very terrible thing. I do not wish to speak about, but I no longer have a family because of it. The government, as it was, wanted to throw me in jail, put me away, which I understood and it was fair. But when I was there in prison, I made a few friends. I just kind of moseyed my way into it. I kind of just became it. I lived in Oshana. I was Just an informant. Really pen pals sort of thing. Just talking with Roland. But that is it. I just happened to be an informant, and they came into my shop earlier, and they took out my home, as they took all my weapons, and I got a letter from Kara, and she told me to meet them down by the river on my boat, and here I am.
Kara is the leader of the rebellion?
You don't know? You didn't ask her that.
Okay, I'm gonna say, what role does Kara play in this rebellion?
She's one of the leaders. She's kind of, her and Roland do it together. They are kind of a team.
That name sounds familiar.
It's your father.
Oh.
Dad's? Oh, her dad's?
Oh, that's awkward.
I know, I was like, oh, do I know?
I was waiting for you to say something.
She's not even part of this conversation, so it doesn't
I know, it doesn't matter.
Oh my gosh. That's wild.
Your father that you thought was dead.
I mean,
Every parent is going to be part of the rebellion. Just watch.
Yeah, no.
Wait, I'm not a girl.
no, yeah, they're totally fine.
Peren's like, girls. You can join this conversation if you'd like.
Word?
You can move up and join this conversation. You just have to RP with me, Matt. That's all you have to do.
I'm just gonna move on to Mark.
He says, okay, goodbye. As you just walk away, you like get that information, like,
Yeah, I'm like a video game. Goodbye.
yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, let's go. Goodbye.
I feel like Endorin does not finish it.
What fucking accent does Mark have?
It started off as Russian and then it wasn't.
No, Endorin is like a Russian-ish.
Girls.
I think girls. Little girls. I think Mark is like a British accent. You want to talk to Mark now?
Yeah, that's Mark. I press Y.
He's standing.
Hello there.
He's standing at the back of the ship, just kind of like looking out. You can see him. He's fiddling with something in his hands. You're not really sure what it is, but he is messing with something.
I want to say, hey,
Oh, hi.
how are you doing?
Oh, I've been better.
We all have. So,
Yeah.
no shit.
Fuck you and your stupid husband, dude. Continue.
I didn't mean it like that. I mean it like really sad.
Yeah, shit happens, dude.
I'm not an
Whatever.
actor, so.
My girlfriend's a moon, so
That's rough, buddy.
that's rough, buddy.
Girlfriend returns to the moon.
That's rough,
Well, I'm sorry, but I
it's
just
alright.
wanted to know how you got involved in the rebellion.
Well, it was Ethan that dragged me into this. Really, he cooked the books essentially for the rebellion, bringing logs over here, sending gold shipments. Really, just smuggling. It's kind of what we did. I'm not sure how he got involved. I just met him at the Wicked Hunter one evening and just kind of hit it off, and then they got sucked into fighting the government, as one does.
You telling me?
You telling me? You telling me, pal?
To a play?
And
now
now
I'm here?
here we are. We all got attacked.
Shit, that's true. This all started with a play.
In a parade? I was just in the parade.
Esmenee still
Isn't
thinks
it still like,
this is a really fucking immersive play,
really
dude.
immersive, man? Oh, no.
So weird. Yeah.
How many notes for your novel?
Yeah, wolf
Yeah.
puppets.
How to make people feel the emotion.
My book's gone.
Your book is gone.
Took it. He offered me a book deal and then he didn't give it back to me.
Since he didn't accept it.
So he just took it. He's gonna profit it.
How dare
Sell it as
he?
his own.
Big fat liar. Alright, I think I'm done. You know.
You have the fucking shittiest conversations with these characters. Hey, what's up? How'd you join the rebellion? Da 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 da. Cool. Hey, how'd you join the rebellion? Da 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 da. Cool.
Well, I'm not gonna. I don't know. I don't know what
Peren
to
just
say to
wants to
this
know what he needs
man.
to know, and then he's gonna go.
He's looking for answers.
That's up to you,
He's
dude.
trying to collect.
I mean, I'm
data.
not gonna walk away. I think
I'm still gonna make fun of you. I don't give a shit.
no one else has talked to anybody, so I'm getting answers.
There you go, dude.
I think I'm just gonna stand next to him and like kind of look out over the water.
You make a perception check to see what he's filling with.
6.
6. It's hard to tell specifically what it is. You can get like glimpses of like wire framing, and there's some glass in it.
I don't want to bother.
Would anybody else like to do anything?
No, we're still having family.
You're still bonding.
Esmenee is real stressed.
We're probably just like, I think that from where we are, we probably just like, we're not like looking out because we're sitting. We probably just walk.
You can see through the railing ahead of you.
Watching it.
Yeah, just kind of observing the situation. You guys can make perception checks for me if you like. See what you're hearing.
So,
That's a nat 20.
Natural 20. You need to tell me what you're doing, because Esmenee is currently just standing like this on the edge of the boat,
exactly
not
that.
being able to do anything yet.
Amazing.
Natural 20, 16.
Kinda
You are able to hear,
like-
Quinn, you're able to hear the whole conversation with Endorin. You as well. You're able to hear decent parts of the conversation with Endorin. You can hear all of the conversation with Mark, somehow. And all of Peren's conversation with your natural 20.
With my mom?
With your mom.
At the same time, I think they're all.
Well, it's all happening differently. You can't hear anything with Mark, but you can hear a little bit with Kara. Just a little bit on either side. You can kind of hear what's going on.
And which one was the conversation about my dad?
Endorin talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, he talks about roles.
I thought Kara also
they
mentioned
were.
him.
And I said,
Oh, Kara mentioned it as well.
Yeah.
You probably would have heard the name. I don't know if you would have heard the context, but you definitely would have heard Roland, especially
yeah,
since
she said he's an elf that she met in Oshama.
she said he was running from something.
Well, God.
She's saying he's not dead.
Would she hear it?
I'm trying to
Would
decide
she
if she's
hear it
shocked enough to
clearly
like.
enough to like process like, oh, that was definitely a thing that was definitely said, or was it more like a?
It's more like
I overheard it, maybe you
yeah,
heard
it could be
wrong?
just something you're hearing in your head. It's one of those, like, it's so weird. The crashing of the waves up against the ship. You are going with the tide, but you can still kind of hear it. The rustling of the water and things like that.
You gonna come hang out with us?
I'm chilling with Mark. You can call me over.
I'm chilling with Mark.
I'm up by the.
Aramin is also.
No.
So up by Endorin?
Yes.
Okay.
In a meditative pose. So because of that, I'd be able to hear their entire conversation. Because it's not really not like.
Yeah. I can imagine you guys are just like having this really deep conversation, and Aramin's just like Doctor Stranging it up, like next to the helm.
You're gonna let. Nah, he's fine.
Yeah, so you'll be able to hear all of the conversation with Endorin. You're right next to it. Roll a perception check for me.
That's a 6.
You can only hear the conversation with Endorin. What is Esmenee doing?
I don't. Where is everybody? We're just on the boat.
So-
vibing.
Fur, he is kind of down by Kara, almost, like off to the right. He's also just kind of gazing off into the distance. It's just
I'm just kind of
chopping wood.
just sitting on the ground, like leaning on the edge of the boat, just kind of like looking at everybody, like.
Esmenee sees Lyra and Quinn coupling, and she comes over and goes, "Ah."
We are rats.
Rats, baby.
Esmenee's just chilling then?
It's just vibing.
Just vibing. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to RP this out for the sake of brevity. Kara tells you guys it's probably going to be at least another 16 hours because of our stop that we did. So you would get to Valerie in the morning, mid-afternoon. So as the day slowly goes on, you guys kind of mill about, going about your own sort of things, and you can take a long rest.
Long rest.
Good, I need those hit points back.
I need
Yes.
my hit points.
And my sorcery point.
Lyra.
Oh no.
They don't like that look on your face.
Oh no.
You slowly drift away back to sleep. You're just the soft crashing of the waves, the feeling of Quinn's hair just up against yours. It's comfortable, it's warm. You close your eyes and you're in a dream again. You're sitting in a tavern, and you're yourself. You can look at your hands to confirm. And, yeah, not claws. You kind of look at yourself. It's a very lucid dream. You're sitting in the tavern. Make just a general perception check for me. 18. Looking around, a few things going on. There's a stool by the fire where there's some wood carvings on the ground. There's a small goblet-esque gnome man at the bar. Low-hanging lanterns, fires all around you. There's someone in the chair next to you, and you don't really pay much attention to it. There's a few patrons here and there, but it's not really that busy. You do look down, and the amulet is around your neck. It's a slow, pulsing, almost like a very soft heartbeat glow. Just kind of emanating from it. Your gaze is focused at the fire. You just hear this voice next to you. Well done. And you look over, and Waller is sitting next to you.
Is Waller a fucking god? Dylan, I swear to God.
He sits back and says, you've done well. Make another perception check for me, please. 11. You look, he's not in his armor. He's in like a very like elegant black and gold robes. They're kind of like tailored, like suit tailor style, like trying to think like Civil War era sort of clothing he has on, without like the frilly. Black all the way down, long coattails, high boots on, looks freshly shaved, like cleaned it up a little bit. He reaches over and he touches the amulet and he says, thank you. And he grabs it and pulls it up over your neck and your hair. It's gonna be a pain to find the rest of them. And with your 11, as he turns and reaches up, you can see another silver chained amulet with a black gem in the center. And he just looks at it. He gestures over and someone comes with a tray and puts it down. You finally recognize that you are in Petrana. You're in the inn in Petrana. And he's, well, you can wake up now. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.